Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Hello again everyone, welcome to another in our series of videos. We are tossers, traders not tipsters. In this episode I cover value bets but also explain probability and edge. And how does GSA calculate the probability against the Betfair odds to find you a value trade in the market? I'd like to thank Graham for this question. He did contact me on Telegram and asked me if I could cover this area of trading, which is very important, but I thought I'd also expand on it and explain in the simplest way I could think of probability and an edge, as well as I've often watched videos on it and been completely confused. So I hope you find some value in this video as well. So let's dive into probability. Well, quite simply put, it's the likelihood of a given event or event's occurrence based on a range from 0 to 100 on a percentage scale. So for example, the chance of me throwing something up in the air and it coming down with gravity is more or less 100%. The chance of getting struck by lightning, 0.00001% perhaps. But what we must remember, and it's important as a trader to remember this, that each trade that you do based on a calculated probability has no bearing or effect on subsequent ones that you do after that. Just a little reminder here, when you have a losing trade, think to yourself think that in your head. This has no bearing on the next one. You must treat each independent trade as a separate event. So how do we calculate probability and the odds associated with it? Well, we all know the coin toss scenario. It's 50-50, but it could come up heads 7 times in a row. Thus it could come up tails 7 times in a row. But the more we do it, and the bigger our sample rate, the greater the chance of the 50-50 scenario rolling out. So let me show you this example in a game of best of 5, where player A and player B are tossing a coin up with a 50% chance that they will win that coin toss. So in this scenario, player A has won 2 spins and player B has won 1 spin with 2 spins to go. So how do we calculate the probability of player A winning this best of 5? Well, we know there are 2 more spins to come, and there are 4 possible outcomes: heads tails, tails heads, heads heads, or tails tails. And we can see that in 3 of those scenarios player A would win, and that only 1 scenario would enable player B to win the game 3-2. And therefore we can assume that player B's chances to win the game would be 3-1, and that player A's would be 1-3. And when we convert that to decimal, player A would be 4.0 and player B 1.33. And we identify that as true odds. True odds is something I will show you in the GSA console a little bit later when we compare them to the Betfair odds offered. So how do we explain an edge? It's very simple. An edge is an advantage you have over your competitor or someone else in the market. As a trader, it refers to something we know as money through the market, which is the amount of trades that you do and the strategies you employ will give you a return on your investment. So how does that work? Think about it like a casino. A lot of people are under the misconception that red or black is 50-50, but we have the green 0. So when we put our £100 bet on, and let's say we do that 10,000 times, so call it £1 million, 2.5% of the time we're going to lose that to the green 0. So over 10,000 bets or trades, as it were, we would have lost 2.5% to the house, which is £1 million through the market, coming to a loss of £25,000. And we think exactly the same way like a trader. When we trade, we keep a spreadsheet, and it's important that you do that. And therefore you can imagine that you, as a trader, are the croupier. The green 0 is your trading strategies, and the people at the roulette table is the market. So when you cycle those trades through the market over time that are successful, it will give you a return on investment or an edge, just as the casino has an edge with the red and black and the green. So we return to the console, and I'll go back to Graham's question about looking at the value in a trade. Here we can see a game in Iceland. was 4v Grindalvik, and it was on our radars for being a quick response game in which we advised on Telegram to look for another goal. The situation was 73 minutes that there hadn't been one, and when we track across, we can look at the difference in value, or the difference in probability to begin with, between what Betfair thinks and what GSA has calculated. I was looking to back an extra goal in this game, so over 2.5. Now, because this is a freeze frame, you won't see the GS probability pop up, but I've calculated for you. 1.5 suggests a 66.6% chance of a further goal, and Betfair odds were 1.9, suggesting a 52% chance of a goal. So the difference in probability by our estimation on GSA and Betfair was 14%, and quite a lot of ticks, 1.9 to 1.5. Also, the time in the match, 73 minutes, a good price for that time in the match. And don't forget that when we get past 75 minutes, the probability and the odds will skew outwards. So here is probably one of the best examples you can see in the difference of estimation between GSA and Betfair. And if we look further around, they're all over the place. We know that the light blue and dark blue highlights extra value between Betfair odds and our trades. That does not mean to say you should do them. You always research your trades. In this case, I was happy to take this one on 1.9, 1.5, so very good value in this trade. And this won't always be in your favour. It might be the same, but that doesn't mean that the trade is not good. But if you're betting with value on your side all the time, which I think you must do, then it's obviously in your favour, especially if we go back to those three words: the probability, the chance of something happening, the value in the trade over time. If you stick to those three rules, then you should be successful. So once you've done your checks and you're happy and you've profiled the game, you can check the value, and if you're happy, enter the trade. And these opportunities pop up all over the console, because what it is, it's looking at the chance of something happening versus the odds. But always, please, profile your games. Now, I was going to explain about variance. I've decided to leave that to another episode where we talk about 50% and 90% and over time why they will differ a lot. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the next one soon.